evening, guys. I'm John Obadia. I'm a clinical nutritionist, though still I'm currently an intern. This video is meant to be educative. It's not medical advice. So if you have further questions, you can consult your doctor. But this is just meant to be educative and be able to share with your loved ones. So in this video today, I'll be talking about heartburns and acid reflux. It's a common symptom that's occurring in many populations currently, especially with the youth and even the elderly. So what are heartburns? What normally causes heartburns? How do heartburns occur? So heartburns, these are burning. It's a burning sensation that normally occurs in your chest when the acid inside the stomach refluxes back into your esophagus. And when it refluxes back into your tongue, you normally also have this burning sensation, especially when you are having episodes of vomiting. So acid reflux is what normally causes the heartburns. Okay, so you'll have the acid reflux happening first, and then it causes the heartburns. And when the acid reflux gets into your tongue, that's called, especially when you're vomiting, you always have this also burning sensation. So what normally causes the heartburns, or what normally causes the acid reflux? First of all, the conventional medical advice that we are normally told is that the acid inside your stomach is very strong, that we are supposed to take maybe an antacid, which will work by weakening that acid in your stomach so that you get some relief. And often this normally works because the antacids, they work by neutralizing that acid that has spilled into your esophagus, making you have some sort of relief. But the initial thing that happens is that this doesn't cure it long term. So you're always on this, you're always hooked to the antacids for a very long time. So what's the solution? The solution is first of all to be able to understand what is causing it, because as you can see from how antacids work, weakening the acid doesn't cure it long term. Normally the solution is to be able to strengthen your stomach acid, and I want to explain it using this diagram. So this is your esophagus, this is your stomach, and this is your stomach acid. And between the esophagus and the stomach, there's normally a sphincter. This sphincter normally has nerves. These nerves are supposed to be able to detect the strength of your stomach acid, and if the stomach acid is produced, they close, because that stomach acid, when it spills into your esophagus, it will cause a lot of pain. So when your acid is weak, normally the stomach acid has a pH of 1:3. So a weak acid is normally a stomach acid that has a pH of above 3. That means 4, 5, 6, 7, it goes up to 14. So when this acid is weak, it means that this sphincter that has nerves cannot be able to detect that there is still some acid that is being passing through, because the acid is very weak. Therefore that mechanism, that detection mechanism, is no longer able to work, because the strength, the pH of the stomach acid is so weak that it cannot be detected. So it has to be so strong so that it can be detected, and this sphincter closes automatically. So that's what normally happens. So what causes this stomach acid weakening? Number one, you should be able to understand, is sugar. Sugar causes it to normally happen. Why does sugar cause it to happen? When you study if you have done organic chemistry, I believe most nutritionists and most people who have gone to medical school, they've been able to study organic chemistry. The chemistry of the chemical formula of sugar is normally C6H12O6. And what's the chemical formula of the stomach acid? HCl, hydrochloric acid. So if you look at the chemical formula of sugar, it has a H12O6. This is a hydroxide. And what does the stomach acid have? It's HCl. It has a hydrogen. Alright? So whenever these two are reacting, the sugar and the HCl, there's normally a neutralization reaction. Alright? There's normally a neutralization reaction because you have the hydroxide ions present in the sugar, and you have the hydrogen ions present in your stomach acid. So it causes a neutralization reaction. When the neutralization reaction occurs, the strength of your stomach acid weakens. And if you normally observe, you normally have this normally have the symptoms of your heartburns and acid reflux, especially when you're taking sugar. So the solution is normally to withdraw the sugar from your diet. That's the first solution. Besides withdrawing sugar, one other solution is to keep off refined grains. Why refined grains? Refined grains, they do not have fiber. So fiber is this what will I say? It's like an anti-nutrient that's normally fed by a bacteria, but this fiber helps reduce the rate at which the blood sugar at which sugars from the starch we consume gets into the blood. So when you consume refined grains, they no longer have this fiber, so the rate at which sugar gets into our blood is higher, and that causes that a lot of sugar coming in, which neutralizes the HCl. Okay, so when you consume these refined grains such as the wheat in our breakfast cereals and what have you, it normally causes that issue. So what's normally the solution long term? Solution long term is to acidify your stomach, and there's several ways that you can acidify your stomach. First and foremost, the first way to acidify your stomach is obviously to keep off sugar, because when you're keeping off sugar, the neutralization reaction will not take place. Okay, the second way to acidify your stomach is to reduce the number of meal times. I want you to take example of a car. All right, a car that is normally fueled. Whenever you are eating, you are stimulating the stomach acid to be released every time. So it's the same concept with the car. Whenever it's releasing this fuel and not being given rest, it's able to get exhausted early. Okay, so the same manner with your stomach, you have to give it time to regenerate, to be produced more. So you should have at least a 12-hour waiting window between your last meal and your next meal of the day. Your last meal yesterday and your next meal of the day, at least 12 hours, to allow the regeneration of the stomach acid at its strength. Otherwise, if you're eating every time, you're reducing its strength because you are overusing or you are exhausting its productivity. The third way is to take salt. Why salt? Salt, the formula of salt is NaCl. So NaCl, the chloride part, supplies chloride ions for our stomach acid, the HCl. So we need these chloride ions to be able to produce a strong stomach acid. All right, so take salt. Salt is very important. The other way, which is not the least, it's taking vinegar. Vinegar is normally acetic acid. Acetic acid enhances the reproduction of the stomach acid at its normal pH, and it's normally the first solution if you're having heartburns. Okay, so when you're having these heartburns, normally it's good to take some vinegar, which will give you a relief. How do you take it? Just mix 2 tablespoons of vinegar in a glass of water and you'll have some relief. So thank you guys for watching this video, and please remember to share it with a friend. And this is not medical advice, this is just an educational session. Thanks for watching.